Hello everyone, today I'm going to be teaching you how to RNG manip a perfect Zapdos or a shiny Zapdos in Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow. This manip is only for Zapdos and only for real cartridges. It won't work on the Virtual Console. And it's only for the English copies of these games. In addition to all of that, you have to choose between shiny or perfect. This is because stats determine if a Pokemon is shiny or not once you send it to Gen 2, and the stats needed for a shiny require you to have defense, special, and speed all be a 10 and only a 10. Where a perfect Pokemon would have a 15 in those stats. With that, I'll first go over the concept of how this RNG works, and after you understand all that, I'll show you the shiny path and the perfect DV path for every game individually. There's a few things that affect the RNG in these games that we can actually control. The first is the buttons entered at the Game Boy bio screen. So if you don't know, you can actually change the color palette of red and blue if you hit a D-pad over here or hold B and hit a D-pad. This will change the RNG, and we're going to be doing nothing here. We're going to hold no buttons and make sure you never touch anything. This doesn't actually affect yellow at all, but we'll still also be holding nothing during that. The second thing is the in-game time frame. The in-game time is saved as hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. Frames count from 1 to 60 before looping, and what number you're on for the frame affects the RNG. Here's an example of what this looks like. You'll note that for this path, it has an 11 out of 60 chance to succeed. This means 11 of the possible 60 in-game time frames have the exact Zapdos that we want, where the other ones have a different result. If we take a look here, we see that this Zapdos is an FFF Zapdos, which is all 15. This is exactly what we want, but this one is an all 0 Zapdos. So if we complete our Zapdos path and do the RNG successfully, but we land on a Zapdos that is all zeros, or 0101, or FDFD, something like that, that means we got the right path but the wrong in-game time frame. So what we're going to do is soft reset and then just save again while standing in place, so hopefully we land on a different one of the 60 that could end up resulting in an FFF for us. So the next thing that affects the RNG is the buffered movement from your last save, aka what direction your character is facing when you load the game. This is really simple, but it's kind of weird. Typically, if you save while facing a direction, when you reload the game, you're always facing down. So let's view that in action here. So I'm gonna step right, and then I'm gonna hit the save. After I save, I'm going to reset the game. You can see that I'm facing left as I saved. But if I soft reset and load the game back up, I'm actually going to be facing down. This is called an unbuffered save. So I'm just going to get back to where I was. And you can see I'm facing down. But if I do what's called a buffered save, I'll actually continue to be facing left. So what you do for that is hold left and then hit start the moment you press left. And you can see the save menu will pop up instantly. And if I save like this, I'll actually be facing left when I reload the game. So that's a buffered save. We're not going to be doing a buffered save at all, and you want to make sure you don't accidentally do a buffered save when you actually go for the manip itself, because none of my manips have a buffered save in it at all. The next thing to consider is the status of the map. This includes all levels of a multi-floor dungeon, something like the unknown dungeon where Mewtwo is. This includes the trainers you fought on that map, items that you've picked up on the map, including the invisible ones, and sprites loaded on the map. What this means for Zapdos is that we have to clear every item and electrode and Voltorb out of the power plant. In addition, before we save inside of the power plant itself, we have to have never loaded Zapdos' sprite before we save. So I'll show you what clearing the power plant looks like. In addition, if you accidentally load Zapdos while you're clearing all these items or something like that, you can just leave the power plant and then go back in and make sure you don't see it after clearing out all the items to do your save. So it's not huge high stakes to never see it before going in. So I'll show you where every item is. In addition, I'm going to put on a max repel. Okay, so the power plant has lots of different electrodes, Voltorbs, and hidden items. So we're going to clear everything out. There's only 2 hidden items. Everything else is fully visible. So let's take a look. So we're going to go here. And you can just run from them to despawn them. So you don't actually have to worry about doing anything, you know, catching them, KOing them. You can just run. Okay, here's our first hidden item. It's over here. It's a max elixir. There's one more hidden item in addition to that. Okay, I believe that's the last visible object on the map. There might be one more, actually, but I'm pretty sure this is the last one. And there is a PP up hidden right here. And that is every item in the power plant. You need to make sure you collect all of those and get rid of all of the Voltorb and Electrode before actually doing this manip. In addition, you're going to walk over here and you're going to save. I'll show where you're supposed to save later. But if you accidentally load Zapdos like this, you cannot save. What you have to do is re-enter the power plant. So I'm going to exit, and then I would have to re-enter and go through the whole path again to make sure I don't see Zapdos. And you have to be careful because you can actually see Zapdos if you go up too high here. So if you go all the way up like this, if I step one more tile above this, I'll load the Zapdos, or a few more, but yeah, there it is. So if you go all the way up here, you can actually load Zapdos by accident. So you have to make sure to not do that. Typically, I don't go above here. I just take as low of a turn as I can. But that is what you actually need to do in the power plant. I have to leave it again because I've loaded Zapdos in a second time here. But that's it for as far as the map status goes. The next thing to consider is the party size. For all of these manips, you'll be using a party size of 5. So that means you've got 5 Pokemon in your party. In addition, their health and status condition matters. So make sure they're all full health and they're not paralyzed or anything like that before you encounter the Zapdos. The next thing to consider is the movements after loading into the game. This is the buttons you press and the direction you walk before actually talking to Zapdos to encounter it. And this is what the path looks like in my notes. This is a bit confusing, but effectively what this is a list of the directions I hold on the D-pad and a list of the buttons I'm pressing before encountering the Zapdos itself. I'll include all the paths in a Google Sheet for you and in the description and in a pinned comment. But in order to perform and understand these paths, we're going to have to learn how to do certain movement techniques. The first of which is called buffered movement. So we're going to use this up-down section of the path as an example for the buffered movement here. All buffered movement means is that while you're doing a current action, you have to begin holding the button you want for your next action. For example, I'm going to take an up step, but as I'm taking the up step, I'm going to begin holding down. And so you can see what happens is as I'm moving up, the moment the character finishes moving up, because I'm holding down, my character immediately takes a down step. This is something that's going to apply to not just your movement paths, but every single button press we're going to have to do throughout the entire pathing system. So this is something to keep in mind for everything. The next piece of buffer movement we need to learn about is pressing A while we're moving. You can start holding A as soon as the direction is pressed, and you want the A button to be considered pressed as you finish your step. You can practice this by using any sign. If the text pops up as you walked into it, you did it right. So let's take a look at that. So I'm going to press up, and then I'm going to begin holding the A button. And you can see the text pops up. If the text doesn't pop up, that means you let go of the A button too early. So you can see I hit A there as I was moving, but I wasn't holding it there. I think you should practice letting go as early as you can while still getting the text to pop up. So you can see I let go pretty close to before I hit the sign, but it still popped up. So this is what the practicing of that looks like. The final thing we're going to learn for Zapdos is Start+B. This is opening the start menu and buffering a close. This is what that looks like. This is pretty tricky in tandem with movement, but once you get it down, it's actually very reliable and helped me create some shorter paths. You can buffer start the same way as you buffer A in the previous section, where you hold it while taking a step. So here I'm going to take a right step and then hold the start button, and you can see it pops up immediately. Typically, I start holding B when I see the start menu pop up, but before all the text is finished filling out. So you'll be able to see here, while the start menu is popping up, there's a brief window in time where it's just the border and no text. So that's when I start holding B, like this. Then once you hit B, it's safe to begin holding your next input. So I'm going to hit that, hold B, and then start moving, and you can see. And you'll also notice there's going to be a bit of delay before your character starts moving. That's actually normal. So you can see if I just hit B and then hold left, it takes a while for my guy to start moving. That's just how Start B is. It's a bit laggy. If you hit Start B, but you end up moving the cursor, that means you hit B too early and you weren't waiting long enough, or you weren't holding B for long enough. But that is the gist of Start B. You're going to have to be chaining a lot of these together. So I would practice doing that. So here you can see I'm just going to be hit right, hit Start B, hold down, hit Start B, do that, blah, blah, blah. This is vaguely the speed that you're going to be needing to do it on. So I would suggest practicing this a lot. It can be pretty tricky to do. The last thing that affects RNG is how you skip the intro sequence and the title screen. This is different for yellow than it is for red and blue. So first we're going to cover yellow. So the way yellow works is what you're going to do is the moment the copyright screen shows up, you're going to start holding the start button. Then once it fades to the Game Freak logo, you're going to hold A. And then once you hear the music for the title screen, you start holding start again. Then when the start screen fades to white, you start holding A on this screen, and then you're loaded into the game. You only have to hold A until the screen fades to white. So I'll give you another example of it. Let's just do it one more time in yellow version so that it is clear how this works. So it's hold start, hold A, hold start again, hold A, let go of A, and begin your path. And now we're going to show you what red and blue looks like. Okay, so red and blue are a little bit more awkward, but it's still pretty easy. So remember, hold nothing on the BIOS screen, and then when the copyright screen shows up, we're going to hold up, select, and B. Then once the intro sequence fades away, we're going to start holding start. So I hold start now, and then once this fades, I'm going to hold A. All right, I'll give you that as an example again. It's very simple, a little bit easier than yellow, in my opinion, even if it's like a little bit, you got to claw your GBA. So up, select, and B. Fade to white, hold start. Fade to white, hold A. And that's how you clear the intro in red and blue. So now you actually understand everything you need in order to perform these RNG manipulations. So I'll begin showing you the paths. Okay, so first we're going to start with the red paths. The red paths, both the 15 DV and the shiny paths, both only involve movement until the very end, where they have some start Bs. So if we take a look here, this is the only complex movement in the entire path. Everything else is just directions, and the shiny path is the same. In addition, both of these are 30 out of 60, so they are about a 50-50 chance that you land on the right in-game time save variable. Now, to start off with this path, you have to be saved in the exact spot that I'm starting in. So make sure to save here with an unbuffered movement while never having seen Zapdos. Then I'm going to put on a max repel, and I'm going to show you the process of how I learn this path. I'm only going to show you the process of learning this path and then either the yellow or blue path, because those involve a little bit more complex button presses. But other than that, I'm just going to show you the full path. But for this one, I think it's valuable to show you the process of how you learn it. So for the 15 dB path, we start off with left, 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 up, right, down. So that's left, 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 up, right, down. Okay, so I'll practice that with buffered movement now. Okay, so that's what it looks like buffered. So it's left, 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 up, right, down. There we go. So I got that done. So then it's down, left, up, 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 up. So down, left, up, 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 up. Okay, that makes sense. So it is full path buffered at this point is like this. Okay, pretty simple. I like to do it a few times to get it memorized and make sure I'm doing everything right. Try it again. Left, 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 up, right, down, down, left, up, 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 up. Okay, so after that, it is down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we go like this. 1, 2, 3, right? Yeah, because once we're here, there's 3 ups. So I think doing like down, up, down, up, down, up can be a little bit confusing. So what I do is I count the amount of times I go up after the initial down. So I move the path so far. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's done. Then it's down, down, right, left, up, down. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. So after we do down, up, down, up, down, up, it's down, down, right, left, up, down. So it's... Oh, my repair. That's okay. So it's down, down, right, left, up, down. Right? Down, down, right, left, up, down. Down, down, right, left, up, down. Okay. I think I've got that. And then it's down, down, right, up, down, left. Okay. So we're gonna start with this part. Oops, I messed it up already. That was just an accident. 1, 2, 3. Oh, miscounted. So down, down, right, left, up, down. Down, down, right, left, up, down. Okay, so it's full path time. Try. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I got it. So it is this again. I'll do it one more time to make sure I've got it right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. After down, down, right, left, up, down, it is down, down, right, up, down, left. So what this starts. So this starts from down, down, right, up, down, left. So it starts from here. It's, is that what it is? Down, down, right, up, down, left. So it's, that's what we do. So it's down, down, right, up, up. Try again. I know this is a bit rambly, but this is pretty much exactly how I learned the actual paths. So this is the only way you do it, and I think showing this whole process is going to be helpful to you. So down, down, right, up, down, left. So down, down, right, up, down, left. Down, down, right, up, down, left. And keep an eye on my fingers and the button inputs that I'm doing. So down, down, right, up, down, left. Okay. And then after that, it's right, 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 down, and then down again, and then start B twice, and then down A. Okay. So the ending is going to look something like this. Right, 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 down, down, and then we hit start here. So we're going to hit start one space before the Zapdos. So it's... And that's start B twice. The start B twice can be pretty tricky. It's the hardest part of this path by far. See, I messed it up already. And then we hit down A to talk to the Zapdos. And then after hitting A on Zapdos, you're going to hold B once its cry is done. But I'll explain that in a moment. So let's try the whole path again. See if I can't remember it. 1, 2, 3. I think that was right, right? Left, 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 up, right, down, down, left, up, 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 up. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, right, left, up, down, down. Oh, wait, did I miss something up here? Hold on, let me think. Left, 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 up, right, down, down, left, up, 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 down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, right, left, up, down, 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 right, up. Oops. Up, down, left. Okay, so let's try again. 1, 2. I believe that is the full path minus the start Bs at the end. So let's try one more time. Left, 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 up, right, down, down. 1, 2, 3. The part that's throwing me off is here after that, after the down ups, it's down, down, right, left, up, down. I think I'm doing that right. 1, 2, 3. Right, left, up, down, down, and then, yeah. And there it is. That's the full path. So I want to talk a little bit more about the ending to you. I want to talk a little bit more about the ending to you in regards to both the start Bs and the down A on the Zapdos. Get my Max Repel on. Okay, so the way the start Bs work is I just hold start, and then once I hold B, I'm immediately hitting start again. So the flashes should be pretty fast. And if it doesn't close, that means you were holding B too early. There you go. Now, as for talking to the Zapdos itself, what you're going to do is hit A, and then after the cry finishes, you're going to hold B. So watch my timing here, because if you hit B too early, you see I hit B too early here, it actually doesn't load. So you want the text to finish scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and you also want the cry to mostly be finished done. So I'll show you what that looks like properly now. It can be a little bit tricky to get the timing on that, but it's actually not too bad. All right, so let's try it really quickly. See, that's the timing. You can watch my hands and stuff like that. But now I think it's time to actually attempt the full path. So here we go. So nothing on the BIOS screen. Thing loads up. We hold up, select, and B. Hold start. Hold A. Execute path. 1, 2, 3. Messed it up. Gotta go again. Up, select, and B. Holding. Hold start. Hold A. Holding path. 1, 2, 3. That was pretty good. One of my start Bs might have been too slow. It can be very difficult to tell. And there's not a lot of feedback. That's why I think all of my like hand monitoring and the input monitoring is very important to understanding if you've gotten the correct path done. All right, and the way we're going to check what Zapdos we've gotten is by looking at its stats. Now, this is already the wrong Zapdos because it's a 160 HP, and the Zapdos I'm looking for should have a 165 HP, but I've got a DV calculator that I'm using, and we can type in, basically you just type in the stats of your Zapdos here, and it tells you what you got. So 160, 110, 104, 120, 144. And I'll hit calculate. I gotta click overwrite, ignore that. So I hit 15, 14, 15, 14, and a 10 HP. So the HP stat doesn't matter, ignore that. It's not like even a real stat. The game doesn't generate it. It's sort of, it sort of makes up the HP stat based off all the other stats. So I can tell just visually 15, 14, 15, 14 is actually a save parameter issue. So let me show you what I mean. Okay, so let's take a look at this this visualization of on the notepad thing that I've got here. So you can see it says FE. Why is it like letters and not numbers? This is simply hexadecimal. F represents 15, E represents 14. So hexadecimal counts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then instead of going from 9 to 10 with 2 digits, it goes from 9 to A. And then it goes A, B, C, D, E, F. And F represents to us what would 16 be. So if I hit FE here, FE is the same. It is equivalent to 15, 14, 15, 14. That is exactly what it is. And again, you can see there's no HP value here. The 0x is nothing. Ignore that. Because we can only calculate these ones. The HP will be determined based on what these are. A FE Zapdos will always have a 10 for HP. So that means I just hit one of the incorrect save parameters. So all I have to do is reset the game and do another save. And I'm just going to have to do this until I hit the correct Zapdos. So I'm going to show you what the saving looks like really quick. So you can see I'm loaded into the game. I'm just going to hit save. That's all I've got to do. And I just have to get lucky and hope that the save parameter that I hit is the correct one this time. This could take a few tries. You know, it's a bit luck prone, but it's just how it works. Okay. Two, three. That felt pretty good. This is the perfect Zapdos. I can tell just visual. I've gotten this Zapdos so many times I can tell, but let's put it into the DV calculator. So 165, 110, 105, 120, 145. And if I calculate, I have to click the override button. I still don't know what that's about, but as you can see, it's 15 all, and that is the perfect Zapdos path complete. So a few questions people might have about the imperfect Zapdos. If you get a Zapdos that isn't one of the paths here, one of the paths that I've listed, so it would be FFF, FEFE, 0, 6363, 0707. If it's not any of those, and I'll list that in the Google Docs that I'll share. If it's not any of those, you've gotten the wrong Zapdos, and you've gotten a path. Your path is imperfect, basically, is what I'm trying to say. And so if your path is imperfect, it won't be one of the Zapdos that I've listed here. And that is all you need to know about that. But onto the shiny Zapdos path. So I'm not really going to show myself learning this path as much. I'm just going to show myself executing the path and having the path listed over here like I did for this one. One, two, three. My Start+Bs didn't feel great there, but it still could have been good enough. You'll also notice that this path is almost the same. The first 3 sections of it are identical to the 15 DV path, and that's just sort of how the RNG ends up working out. You'll get a lot of very, very similar paths across like the parameters that you set while you're searching for a spread. All right, let's see what the Zapdos was. 90, 108, 132. Oh wait, no. 152, 105, 90, 108, 132. So 10, 0, 3, and 2. So this isn't actually on my paths anywhere. Let me show you guys. So you take a look here. The only other alternative spreads I have are 10-9, 10-9, 10-8, 10-8, and 3. And then there's a Pikachu on one of them. Instead, it'll get into a wild encounter instead of a Zapdos. And then 10-15, 10-15. There is no 10-0, 3-2. So that means I messed up the path. So my Start+Bs were likely inadequate on that path. So this is just what I was talking about. So if it's not on the list, that means you messed up the path and you have to try again. 1, 2, 3. Didn't feel great, but hopefully I got it. Okay, let's see. We'll type in the stats. 50, 105, 100, 115, and 140. All right. And as you can see, that is a 10 all with a 0 in HP, which is a shiny Zapdos. So if you send this to Stadium 2 or to Gold, Silver, Crystal, this Zapdos would be shiny. And that is it for red version. We'll move on to blue next. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you the blue path and my process for learning it as well. And the reason I'm going to be learning this path in front of you is because while it is much shorter, it is significantly more complicated than anything red had to offer. Yellow is going to be of similar complexity, so I won't show myself learning that path, but it is a lot more difficult here. So I've broken it up into sets of 4 instead of sets of 6 because each one is so much more dense. So the first movement, again, you have to be saved in the exact spot that I'm saved in. Unbuffered save. Here we go. So it's the first movement is LA, then it's down start B. So it's going to be LA down start B, then it's left start B. So the first bit is going to be, this is actually only 3. So that is the first bit of movement. After that, we do LA again, and then up and start B, and then up and start B. So let's see. So it's really hard. LA, down start B. So LA. See, I'm having a lot of trouble. Nope. That was pretty close to ideal. Let's try again. Nope, wrong. It's pretty close. It's really close. So the hardest part about this path for me is you're not going to be getting a lot of feedback on how long you're holding A here. Like, when do you let go of A while taking this step? You don't get a lot of feedback, but it's pretty tough. And then consecutive start Bs are pretty tough when you're first learning them. So don't be too hard on yourself for having a lot of trouble with it, because I was getting frustrated thinking like, oh, doing 2 start Bs back to back isn't even possible, or like it's going to be really hard. All right, so I've got that part pretty well down, so let's see again. Nope. So after that, it's right, right, down, right. So once I get here, it's just... And then it's down A. Oh, it's... After this, wait. Right, down, right, down A, down, start B. Alright. Then it's the usual start B, DA ending. Okay. So the full path should look something like this. Actually, let me put on another Maxtra Pel because it's going to run out. Probably didn't hold that long enough there, so let's try again. So that's what the path is going to look like. Time to try it out for real. I don't know. It's hard to tell with difficult paths like these. I'm never confident doing that, but we just have to check to see what we got. It is always going to be difficult to tell, but the only way we can, remedy it is by checking what alternate Zapdos are available to us. Oh, I think we got it. That looks like it to me. I know Perfect Zapdos' stats in Gen 1 pretty well now. Calculate. And there we go. That's the 15 DV all path. All right, on to the shiny path. Let's see. 158, 106, 100, 115, 140. Calculate. This is the shiny Zapdos. So this is 8, 11, and then 10, 10, 10. And 11 is one of the valid stats. This would be in our document. It will be labeled as BAAA. So let's see here. As you can see, it is BAAA. So there we go. That is the shiny Zapdos in blue. On to yellow version. All right, up next is the yellow 15 DV all path. This is a pretty short path. You have to be saved in the exact location I'm currently in. And it is an 11 out of 60 chance, which is pretty low, but it's made up for by the fact that the path is really short. The path ultimately is just left start B, down start B, up down start B, up start B, and then 3 downs, start B, DA. Very, very simple, and let's get underway. All right, and there we have it. That took a long time because this is only 11 out of 60. This took me about 30 minutes, even though I hit the path multiple times. I must have gotten about 20 Zapdos, maybe more, successfully before I finally landed on the perfect Zapdos. But with that said, we move on to the shiny path. All right, so for the shiny path, it is a 13 out of 60 chance based on the in-game time. The path is a little bit easier than the previous path. It is left, right, down, up, down A, left, 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 down, down, and then start B, down A. You have to be saved in this exact spot with an unbuffered save as usual, which is more different than the rest of the other paths, but it's not a huge deal in my opinion. So with that said, let's begin with the path. See, 150, 97, 100, 140. Oh. And there we have it. That is a shiny Zapdos, 2, 10, 10, 10, 10. This is the path we were aiming for, which was 2 AAA. That is all of the Zapdos paths. I hope this was helpful for all of you. I hope you can get the shinies and things like that that you want. And in case you are wondering, like, okay, well, how, you know, is it going to be shiny? Is it not? The stats will line up perfectly to what they are in the video. You will get the exact same stats. And then you could check by just putting it in Pokemon Stadium 2 or by trading it up to Gold, Silver, Crystal. I will show you what they look like in Stadium 2 now. Is getting the transfer pack show up going to be harder than getting the Zapdos? There it is. Shiny Zapdos in red and blue in one stream. How do you guys like that? And just for good measure, here's my perfect Zapdos with 15 DVs and with 15 DVs and everything. And there's the shiny one. Oh boy. But with everything said, thank you all for watching the video. I hope this was helpful for you. If you want more Gen 1 RNG, let me know down in the comments below. I plan on tackling some of the more prominent OU Pokemon, so let me know which Pokemon you would like to see. Let me know which Pokemon you would like to see in the description, or in the comments below, or whatever like that. And you can join my Discord if you have any more intricate questions. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time. I wanted just to give a big thank you to all of my YouTube channel members. Thank you guys so much for your support and your generosity. It means the world to me. It lets me make as many videos as I do, as stream as often as I do, so thank you very much. And a big shout out to my blisy tier members, AB, Twisty, and Fragiles, and an even bigger shout out to my Blissed God tier members, ShadowBlitz56 and RLIZT. Thank you guys so much. Your support is unbelievable. I couldn't be doing it without you all. If you want to consider becoming a channel member, it's only $1.99 a month. And you get access to my videos early, you get access to a bunch of emotes, a special section in my Discord, and behind the scenes footage and things from my videos. So please consider supporting if you have the means. I appreciate it. I want to do a special thanks to Stringflow and Mark Iyer, who wrote the VS code that allows for searching for these RNG manips. It wouldn't be possible without either of them. In addition, I want to do a shout out to the YouTube channel Huang Bro. They did a more general purpose video on how to do the RNG manip inputs, so please use that as a secondary resource. And lastly, a general shout out to the RBY speedrun community. All of this stuff was developed by them. I just used it for a more casual RNG manip for shiny or perfect Zapdoses. So please, big thanks to them, big shout out to them. In general, you guys are appreciated. All right, thank you everybody. I'll see you later.